Imagine him saying that the only way Mayor Adams is going to assist in immigration, which I was calling for since 2022, is if you drop the charges. That's quid pro quo. That's a crime.
If he doesn't come through, I'll be back in New York City, and we won't be sitting on the couch. I'll be in his office, up his butt, saying, "Where the hell is the agreement we came to?"
What agreement?
That was Mayor Eric.
What a pal!
Wait. Did he say the quiet part out loud? What? The agreement we had?
And the
agreement.
was,
the what? Without
so
prejudice. Yeah.
Okay, that was Mayor
something.
Eric Adams, and borders.
You don't see that every day, do you? You don't see that every day. Remember the administration threatening the mayor of New York City, who has just gotten his criminal charges dropped.
And everyone okay with it in the conversation.
Without
I wasn't in that
prejudice, saying basically if he, they can bring the charges back. And people were concerned about a deal, and he talked about a deal. I wonder what that deal was. Like some transparency there.
So again, what we just saw was Mayor Eric Adams and border czar Tom Homan in a moment where a lot of people say was quid pro quo playing out in real time when both appeared on Fox News Friday. This as 4 top officials in the New York City mayor's office have resigned. And the controversy over the Justice Department's move to dismiss corruption charges against Mayor Eric Adams. The city's first deputy mayor and 3 other deputy mayors all announced they would leave City Hall yesterday, a significant blow to Adams as the officials oversee much of the operations of the city's government. In a statement, Adams said he understood their decision and wished them well. He also clarified that all 4 deputy mayors will remain in place for now as a transition period. In response, New York State Governor Kathy Hochul called for a meeting today to discuss the mayor's future. The governor does officially have the authority to remove a mayor from office, but those powers have never been used in the state's history. In a statement, Governor Hochul noted the gravity of such a decision, writing in part, overturning the will of the voters is a serious step that should not be taken lightly. That said, the alleged conduct at City Hall that has been reported over the past 2 weeks is troubling and cannot be ignored. The mayor's office has been embroiled in controversy since last year when Mayor Adams was indicted on federal bribery charges. He has maintained his innocence. Apparently, more charges were coming. Anand, you have a new essay out just this morning on The Ink entitled Home of the Brave. Really? And you write in part, quote, this, as I write this, there are scattered and inspiring examples of bravery all around us. Prosecutors, judges, even the occasional lawmaker. But in the main, we are proving beyond the shadow of a doubt that we are not the home of the brave. We are a country full of people smilingly capitulating to a tyrant. You go on to write, maybe it was always a mistake to count on these big institutions to protect us. They haven't been for some time now. Yes, there are a handful of brave lawmakers, brave judges, brave media voices, brave others. But in general, it is now very clear after this first month that no one is coming to save us. It's time to take back our country, not only from this authoritarian nightmare, but also from the collaborators, too insipid and weak and chicken, too skinless and boneless to stand up for us. So, Anand, I don't know if you want to name names, but we have a lot of different things going on in a lot of different directions. The story I just reported, Mayor Adams, New York City. We also have some very controversial nominations being voted on soon. And yet, as you said, it appears nobody really wants to stand up in unison and say no.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, in the earlier clip, you don't often hear quid pro quo and up his butt in the same conversation.
No,
so that's the territory we're now
that's
in.
What I noticed.
Latin and English, bilingual. this is a moment, it's actually something the mayor said, Mayor Adams said, that got me thinking about this essay. He used two simple words to describe what you saw on that sofa. He said, "I'm collaborating." I'm collaborating. Now, I don't know personally if the mayor has a sense of history, but anybody who does have a sense of history and is familiar with the history of authoritarianism around the world knows that "I'm collaborating" is a sentence with some meaning. And it got me thinking about the idea of collaboration and the fact that the mayor, who for the sake of his own narrow freedom, tried to make a deal to turn this city that is a city made of immigrants, America's immigrant city, into a city home to Trump's immigration raids. But collaboration really is a broader metaphor. We're seeing it with newspaper owners who won't stand up to Donald Trump. We're seeing it with companies that are settling lawsuits, frivolous lawsuits, to appease Donald Trump to protect their wider commercial interests. We're seeing it with so many in the Democratic so-called opposition, where, except for a few exceptions like Senator Chris Murphy and AOC and others, most Democratic lawmakers turn out to have no spine, but that was not disclosed on their medical forms. And we're just seeing again and again and again, with these scattered exceptions that are very important, some prosecutors and others, we're seeing that we're just not that brave a country in our core. And I think it's it's a different self-image than the self-image we have. I think Americans think of themselves as brave. We think of ourselves as the country that stood up to authoritarianism and fascism in World War II and saved Europe. We think of ourselves as a country full of spine. And we are seeing again and again, whether it's the mayor, whether it's leaders of media, whether it's CEOs stripping out their diversity programs, throwing their own employees under the bus, whether it's university leaders not standing up for their faculty. This is a country going boneless. And it's time, I think, for regular people to stand up, as they did yesterday in these 50-51 protests across the country. It is time for regular people to stop counting on people with too much, I guess, skin in the game to be brave. I think the bravery is going to come from below.